What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. So we've been following this situation with Capcom and the hacking group that managed to pull information from their server, and they've been leaking it out after being denied a ransom that they had proposed to Capcom. Well, it looks like the latest leak that was put out online has everyone talking right now because it seems to showcase the next 3 to 4 years of releases from Capcom, and there are some interesting surprises in there. We'll be talking about that here today. Also, it's been like 8 years since we've had a 007 James Bond game, but it looks like we won't have to wait much longer as IO Interactive has now announced a 007 game that they will be working on. I'm excited about that possibility, and it looks like we got a patch now for a game that was not backwards compatible for the PS5, but now after this patch is backwards compatible. Guys, if you enjoyed these videos, make sure that like button helps out a ton, and if you're brand new here, hit the red subscribe button down below, and we're gonna start today with Demon's Souls, which is a game that I have been pouring a ton of time into after having finished Spider-Man Miles Morales. Awesome game, but there are some things that Bluepoint has added. We talked about that secret door, but what about weird sound effects that could be pointing to a Metal Gear Solid remake? Well, take a look at this clip here from Jared on Twitter. Now, in that Twitter thread, it's mentioned, wait, is that Metal Gear Rex? Now, in Metal Gear Solid, when Rex is defeated, kind of makes a noise similar to that one. And there have been rumors about Bluepoint working on a Metal Gear Solid remake, but the problem here is Konami would be involved, and they always like to disappoint me, and I would like to see a Metal Gear Solid remake. I know we have Twin Snakes, but let's see one now with the current systems we have. It could look mind-blowing. But it's Konami, and you know, they'll just annoy me and disappoint me anyway. Although this sound effect could just be something that Bluepoint added because they were thinking, hey, let's continue setting a mood here in the opening part of Demon's Souls. It could be an Easter egg. Most likely, though, it's a sound effect that we're hearing, and we're like trying to make sense of it, and we're thinking, oh wow, Metal Gear Rex. That would actually make sense with Bluepoint, maybe doing a Metal Gear Solid remake. However, it's not exact, and I'm still in the sense of Bluepoint was just maybe adding something there just to add to the overall experience of a Demon's Souls remake. Also, sticking with Demon's Souls here very quickly, there's been a lot of talk around an easy mode maybe being added at some point. It was talked about even before, but it does appear that they decided, no, we're not gonna do an easy mode. However, they did decide to explain a bit further, saying, this project remakes the work of another development team. While we've made some changes, our core driving mantra has always been to preserve the spirit and intent of the original creators. While we considered and discussed an easy mode, we would ultimately decided it wasn't our place, merely being custodians for this amazing game, to add something that would fundamentally alter its balance. And that's a good point. It would mess with the balance of the game. Sure, you could make the main character hit harder or the enemies hit you less. Yeah, but the overall idea of Demon's Souls is it's supposed to be hard, and if this was a brand new Souls game, they maybe would have added an easy mode, sure. But if they added one, they would have been criticized, and they didn't add one, and they're still being criticized. So either way, they would have gotten yelled at online by someone. What they decided to do here was just default to the decision of the original creators and respect that decision, right? That's all they did here. They brought Demon's Souls into 2020 on a brand new piece of hardware, and it's an awesome game, so I think they made the right call here. Oh, and we did have the PlayStation 5 launch in Europe yesterday, and it looks like retailers online got hit pretty hard because everyone was trying to order them, of course, and you can see even this headline here, UK retailers struggle to cope with PS5 demand, with online queues reaching 200,000 users. My favorite one, though, is that The Verge reported that one of the emails that was being sent out from Game, a retailer in the UK, was that the reason some of these shipments were kind of late is because Yodel, who is, I guess, a shipping company, was struggling with the overall size of the PlayStation 5. I mean, look, the PS5, the box that it comes in is pretty large, the system is, and that was just a funny thing to see pop up. Now, Yodel's saying that's not correct, we're delivering them as fast as we can, but I mean, yeah, it's a big box. You can only fit so many on a truck when you're trying to deliver them, but Shocking, I know. The PS5 selling out all over the place, high demand once again, and it's a worldwide release, so supply is spread kind of thin right now. And guys, with some of the quick news out of the way, let's get into the bigger stuff. We're starting right away with this Capcom leak. Now, we've talked about this a few times. There was some pretty sensitive information in there, so Capcom is also going around, it seems anyway, and pulling down some of the slides that have been put out there. That's not a good idea to do that because there is some sensitive financial information in there. There's employee information. Well, we don't need to get into all of that. But the idea of some of these games that are being proposed here in their release schedule is very, very interesting. And yes, it does look like Capcom said, you know what, we're not going to pay you guys. Go ahead and just release the info. And well, they got a bunch of free marketing, I guess, out of it because people are very excited over some of the information here. Let's go over to the listing. Now, this was summarized by Push Square from some of the information that was leaked out. And we can see at the top, Resident Evil Outrage, that's scheduled for Q4 2021. Dragon's Dogma 2, Q2 2022. Street Fighter 6, which we talked about yesterday. We talked about it being 2022, so this actually makes some sense at Q3 2022. Rockman, which is Mega Man, and Rockman Match. I don't know what that is. I was really hoping to go through here and see something that says Mega Man X9, but it does not appear to be the case here, and that's very disappointing. But hey, Rockman Match, you know what? That could even be a cell phone game, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. But that's Q3 2022. Resident Evil 4 Remake, Q4 2022. That's right on schedule with what we thought it was going to be when we first heard about it. Onimusha New Work. Oh, okay. So we have a new Onimusha game coming. That's awesome. Q4 2022. Monster Hunter 6. Quarter 2 2023, Biohazard Apocalypse, Q3 2023. Then they have Super Street Fighter. I love this, by the way. We have Street Fighter 6, and then we already have Super Street Fighter 6 planned out. Very good. Q4 2023. Final Fight Remake. That's kind of cool. Q2 2024. Power Stone Remake. That is the big surprise here that people are very excited to hear about. Q3 2024. Some of these, by the way, we're getting into 2024. Some of these are still probably being like conceptualized. They're still in like the concept phase, and these things could change around, alter, even be pushed further out. And then Ultra Street Fighter 6, not to be outdone by Super Street Fighter 6. That's right, Q4 2024. And then we have Resident Evil Hank, Q4 2024. Now, certainly, as we get further down that list and we get into 2024, some of those listings are pretty surprising. A Power Stone remake? That's pretty cool. Like, I love the idea of that. Final Fight remake? Yeah, Capcom, I like that they have the idea, at least, of going back into the library and remaking games. But remember, 2024 is still a ways off right now. We're talking, like, that's 4 years from now. Things could change. They could scrap this project. Absolutely. Power Stone remake maybe doesn't work out. And they say, shelve it for now. We'll come back later at some point, or it's just not working out. We don't know if we'll be able to even really sell this or if it'll be up to a certain standard. We're just going to cancel it. This is something that absolutely would not have been announced until, like, that says like 2024, mid 2024, late 2024 when it come out. So like the end of 2023 or something. That sounds like a game that would have been announced months even before it came out. But that is one that probably would have surprised a lot of people in 3 years. And yes, it's kind of being spoiled here. And yes, I do think it is a shame that all of this is happening to Capcom, but I have to give Capcom credit here because they stood strong on this one. They knew that a lot of this info was going to get leaked out, and they said, nah, we're not gonna pay the ransom. Go ahead and put that info out there. And you know what's interesting? Everyone's just really excited about this stuff. Like, no one's like, oh, you're really doing that, Capcom? Okay, well, there's a lot of Street Fighter on this list already being planned out. There's Street Fighter. We already have Super Street Fighter 6. We got Ultra Street Fighter 6, and we don't even have Street Fighter 6 announced yet. But to see a bunch of Resident Evil on here, that's great. You know, some sort of Mega Man game. It's not X9, but it's something. Power Stone remake, Final Fight remake. Capcom has quite the list here set up over the next 3 to 4 years, but we'll see how much of this actually pans out and becomes something that releases to the public. Also, one other thing to remember here, this was leaked out from the hacking group, and I did wonder if maybe they threw a few in there just to kind of throw everyone off. Like, oh, Power Stone would be cool, right? Let's do that just to mess with everyone. Power Stone Remake 2024. Next up, let's talk about 007 James Bond. We do have a new game coming to us from IO Interactive. What happened yesterday was they kept building this up like crazy. They kept saying, hey, new game's gonna get announced. New game. I can't wait to show you guys. We can't wait to show you the new game we're gonna do. And then they showed a trailer that was like 15 seconds. Honestly, the countdown for the premiere was longer than the trailer that we saw, but it didn't matter because they put up the 007 logo. They had the music in there, and even I was like, whoa, they're doing a 007 game. That is a great fit. They do Hitman, and they do it very, very well. Think about them now shifting focus over from Agent 47 to 007 and making that game. The last one we had was 007 Legends. I think that was 2012. And I don't know when this game is coming out necessarily, because even if they tell us a year, we've seen the struggle with development right now, and it could end up being, pushed out several months. I think it's fine if they have it announced now, and then when they get much closer to being ready, then they actually give us the release date. But let's take a look here at the tweet that was put out. This is actually from 007 James Bond. Project 007, working title, is a brand new James Bond video game with a wholly original story. Earn your 00 status in the very first James Bond origin story to be developed and published by IO Interactive. Wow, that is really exciting to have that origin story thrown in there, and IO Interactive is very good at kind of telling these kind of stories, so I'm on board with this. I can't wait to see more about this game. It says working title, so like I said, it's gonna be a while, and I would even expect this maybe to be geared just towards the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S. So just these current gen now, but next gen consoles. This is fun. So I can't wait to see what the 007 game is going to be all about exactly, and who's gonna play 007 in this game? That's another thing to think about. So a lot of fun stuff here for 007 James Bond fans to look forward to. Next up, I like to warn you guys here and there if something may have leaked online, especially if it is a heavily story-driven game that could have a ton of spoilers dropped. That way you're at least prepared in case you see a thread that pops up that says spoilers, even though the game's not out yet. But there is a chance, okay, that Cyberpunk has actually leaked online. Now, there are conflicting reports about this, if this is legitimate, but it looks like a PKG file totaling about 75 gigabytes for Cyberpunk 2077 on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro has found its way to the internet. Now, the one thing about that is the current file that is out there right now, and you can see the headline here, it is encrypted currently, which means that no one will really be able to use it anyway, but we would also not be able to tell if it's fake or not, because it very well could just be a fake file that was posted up anonymously online. But it's Cyberpunk 2077. I have to imagine there is an obscene amount of stuff that could be spoiled, because a lot of the previews coming out now is saying that they played 11 or 12 hours in the game and they feel like they barely scratched the surface of this game. So yeah, there's gonna be quite a bit here to go through. I'm excited for it to come out, and it's still not out till December 10th. So like I said, I'm hoping it doesn't leak ahead of time, because this is one of those games that I feel like we have to experience from start to finish, like on our own, without any massive spoilers hitting us ahead of time. And in our last bit of news, let's talk a little bit about the PlayStation 5 backwards compatibility. See, before we had a list of games that didn't work, and for the most part, people were like, yeah, that's fine, I'm not really playing those games anyway, but there was one game on there that I saw and I was like, that's too bad. And you can see here, that was Shadow Complex Remastered, but it looks like we now have update 1.02, and it now allows the game to completely work through PS5 backwards compatibility. I am curious what the problem was here, because there was another game, I believe, that was patched and fixed. It had to do with the load screens. Apparently the load screens in the other game locked the PlayStation 5 up for some weird, strange reason. There was no reason given. It was just, it just doesn't seem to work correctly when the PlayStation 5 attempts to basically emulate the PS4. And like I said, we don't have any word on why Shadow Complex Remastered wasn't working, but with this new update, it now is, and that's good news, but I don't really know if there's anything left on that list that people are hoping will work, unless we see the PT demo all of a sudden start working through a patch. But once again, Konami would have to just try not to disappoint me, and that's just seemingly impossible now. But Shadow Complex Remastered is an awesome game. If you have never played it, I recommend completely to go pick it up and see what you think about it. It's like a Metroidvania style game, but it was really well done. I played it way back in the day on the 360, and I played the remastered. Absolutely still love it, and you should check it out. And hey, Now it's backwards compatible on the PS5 because of patch 1.02. And we'll finish up with our comment of the day as you're seeing here. This is from Drew saying, Xenoblade Chronicles gets snuffed again. Heck, if Final Fantasy VII can be entered, which is a remake, and Persona 5 Royal, which is a remaster, then Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition 100% should have at least been nominated for Best Story or Best Music. And you know what's interesting? If you go over to the nominations for Best RPG, I'm a little surprised Xenoblade isn't there. I mean, it was a big time release this year. Sure, it was technically the Wii version brought up to current gen standards and all of that, which is great because it plays well. It's a great game overall, but not being in the RPG of the Year category for the nominations was weird to me, mostly because if you look here, Persona 5 Royal Edition is there, and that's why I'm like, okay, maybe we're just not going to include those games because they're remasters or remakes, you could even say, of older titles. But Final Fantasy VII Remake and Persona 5 Royal are right there. We also have Genshin Impact, Wasteland 3, and Yakuza Like a Dragon. All three of those are perfectly fine if you ask me, but like, it's very odd that Xenoblade once again gets left out. This has happened before. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 got left out of the Game Awards overall. And they didn't even bring it over to the next year, even though it missed like the cutoff, I guess. They didn't do that either. So I don't know. Xenoblade just can't catch a break at these Game Awards at all. And ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it here for Newswave. Enjoyed this video, guys? Hit the like button, really helps out. If not, hit the dislike. Leave comments down below about everything we talked about here today, whether it's like the 3 or 4 Street Fighter 6 releases that are already being planned by Capcom. But what do you think about like Power Stone Remake or Final Fight Remake? Or what do you think that Mega Man game is? Let me know about that down below. Also, do you think Capcom, based on that, has a very strong lineup over the next 3 or 4 years? I would say they do, looking at that. And then what do you think about this new 007 game? Do you think IO Interactive is the correct developer to go after this? I think they are, and I am really looking forward to when we get our first overall look, gameplay and all, of this game. Thanks, guys, for watching. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you back here Monday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time for Newswave.